What you have here is a 1930s, maybe early 40s, National Walking Sprinkler. I restored this, took it all apart, wire brushed most of it with a brass brush, repainted everything, didn't powder coat it, but I did spray it with clean it up, sprayed it down with enamel. Had to put a few new parts on, like the hose bib and a couple gaskets inside, but other than that, it's all original, just cleaned up and put back together, put some marine grease in there. These are pretty cool. They drive by a worm gear, so they're basically a motor, a water motor. That water comes in, drives these sprayers, and the thrust from the sprayers creates the motor, the push to push the gears, which then drives the arms, which then drives the wheels. You can set this in your yard. I think the A5, this is a model A5, it'll pull 150 foot of rope. So I used it before this. I got it in a little auction for I think 40 bucks and ripped it down and cleaned it up, but it worked pretty decent when it was unrestored, but it did have a few leaks. When I took it apart on the main shaft here, down on the bottom, there are a couple, there's I would say a plastic bushing or a hard bushing that this kind of rolls on and acts as a bearing, and then on top of that there's a cork gasket. Those cork gaskets dry out and it was all torn apart, so water would just kind of shoot up the shaft here. So replaced those, had to order a few parts from nationalwalkingsprinkler.com, but as I was doing that, I found a lot of parts were out of stock. And then when I inquired, they said they're shutting the doors. So National Walking Sprinkler is no more, at least under that moniker. And so some of these parts from 1937, you had to improvise, and like I had to put a different pin in here. I had to improvise the actual washer that's down inside because they're not making that anymore, and it has a hole in it to kind of lock it in place. So some of it was, you had to do some re-engineering. These are the original brass spray nozzles. I cleaned them up and then I put a clear enamel coating over them just to kind of keep that, I don't know what you would call that, a rustic brass punk look. It looks really cool. So there you have it, National Walking Sprinkler, 1937, maybe into early 1940s A5 design, all restored. Another one back in operation. See ya.